Hey everyone, it's Tay of Shantae Plants and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be using the Isla kit from PaperMuse Crafts to memory plan the week of November 14th to the 19th. This kit is so gorgeous and I really fell in love with the colors in it. That orange and green together I thought were just so beautiful, and I was very excited to plan with this kit. If you're new to my channel, I do have two planners. I have a plum paper planner that is a daily planner that I write in every day. It doesn't have any stickers and I use it very functionally to keep myself organized. And then I have this planner, which is the Sadie Stickers B6 vertical planner that I use decoratively, and it allows me to play with all of my fun stickers and memory plan. And so that is what I'll be doing in this spread. I am getting started with the bottom washi, and I have this really adorable fence from Ink Paper Plan, and I decided to pull in a couple of elements to add a little bit of a farmhouse theme to this spread that I thought was going to be a lot of fun. And the inspiration to pull in sort of farmhouse themed elements definitely came from me wanting to use this fence. I picked it up right at the beginning of the fall season and knew I wanted to pull it into a fall spread, and the opportunity and the colors, I thought this light wooden fence worked so well with these colors, and I thought it was going to look super cute. And so what I've decided to do was take the top strip from the bottom washi from the kit and use that as the bottom strip. I really loved that punch of orange color, then added in the fence on top, and then I'm just layering some of the florals around it. And then I took one of the large florals from the deco add-on, or the journaling add-on. Oh my goodness, so pretty. And I loved it because it's so big and it makes this really good statement right at the bottom. And then I'm just trimming down the fence so that it fits. And because I knew I was going to be cutting off one side where it was just going to leave those open posts, as though I decided to trim it off on both ends to make it seem as though the fence just sort of runs on and we don't see really the start or end of it on the page. And so I liked that look a lot. Moving over to the other page, I'm just going to repeat the same elements that I did on the first side, and I'm just utilizing some of the larger florals from the journaling sheet. I didn't have another one of that like really big one, so on this side I decided to use two of them, which I knew was going to work out fine because I was going to be doing some things in the sidebar, and so I was definitely going to fill in that corner space on the edge, and so that helped me decide the placement of where I wanted to put those large florals. And here I'm just layering some foiled stickers from Sadie Stickers behind the colorful florals, something I really love doing because I just think having a combination of colorful florals and foiled florals gives a really great pop on the page. Now that I'm done with the bottom washi, I'm moving up to the date cover deco area, and I'm starting with these alcohol ink swatches from Rose Colored Days, and I had this stone color, which was a super soft gray and almost like a bluish gray, which was so perfect because the kit had these really subtle blue tones in it as well, and I thought that this was going to help pick up on the blues in the kit, the undertones of blue in this gray color, and I thought it matched just so beautifully. And because I did the fence at the bottom, one of the things I've learned when I'm doing my own sort of date cover deco and bottom washi deco is that I like having a balance of, if I do something very abstract for my bottom washi, or just use the standard bottom washi that comes with the kit, then I'll do something really fun playing around with clip art in the date cover deco area. But if I do my own bottom washi and do something with clip art down there, or something specific like I did with the fence, then I want the date cover deco area to be more abstract and to just be a little bit more simple. And so up here I just used the alcohol ink swatches, which give just a really gorgeous wash of subtle color in the background. Because they're on transparent matte paper, they really mesh into the background beautifully, and it's not distracting. It's just like a nice little hint of color. And then the foiled garland from Sadie Stickers gives just a stunning pop of foil. Brought in some of the florals, which is just going to tie into all of the other floral elements and colors that are in the kit. So I definitely wanted to bring the colors from the kit to the top of the page. And so I love the way that this came together because we have so much going on with the fence. I didn't want to create so much happening at the top that it was sort of fighting your attention of, okay, we've got a lot happening with the fence at the bottom and then a bunch of clip art happening at the top. I didn't want to do that. And so by doing something that was more subtle and more abstract at the top, I think it created a really good balance. And And it's one of those things I think about a lot because I really enjoy doing my own date cover deco and bottom washi. And I've been trying to figure out what type of balance I like, because trust me when I tell you, it has been a trial and error thing, and one of those things that I did not get right just like right off the bat. And so it was one of those things that I learned because I have a couple of spreads where I did a lot of clip art in my own bottom washi, and then tried to do my own clip art date cover deco, and it was just like, wow, this is just way too much, and the spreads just end up looking a little bit busy. And so for me, I've learned this is the best way to give myself balance and not overwhelm the spread visually, and especially even more so now that I'm in a B6 planner, whereas before I was in my A5 wide planner, which is taller. But being in a B6 planner, which is so much shorter, so the distance between the date cover deco area and the bottom washi so much closer together, I really don't want those clashing and don't want it to look super, super busy. So, long speech about that. Moving on to the sidebar. Now that we've got the date cover deco done, I was also super excited about this window. So this window is from Ink Paper Plan, which she hand designed this. She drew this and designed it so that it would have cutouts in the center, which I love. I've had windows before, but I've never had one where all of the window panes and then the center of the window was open and cut out. And so what that allows you to do is to layer behind it and create a scene that's just so incredibly detailed and layered because you have this center opening. And so as you can see here, I'm doing my very best to get all of the little window panes out. And it was my first time lifting up one of these window stickers. I think it gets easier the second time you do it. And so I'm placing the window down in the sidebar, and I put down one of the strips from the torn paper strips from the journaling kit, but I'm just trying to figure out placement here. So I put the window down, but I didn't press it down because I knew it was going to layer behind it. So I took some of the deco from the kit, and I tried to make sure to use some of the really small deco, like the small tree and the small like wood stack, because I wanted to create the illusion of depth and perception. And is that perception the word I'm looking for? Where it looks further away because it's small, and then you have the fashion doll standing in front of the window, and you can tell she's obviously closer to you because she's larger, so much larger than the tree, and so it gives the illusion of depth. And then I also had a little cloud from Rose Color Days that I added in the window as well, completing the little outdoor scene, and I just thought that was so cute. And now I'm just trimming this pumpkin that's hanging over the sidebar column. So I just want to keep that from overlapping over from the sidebar into the first column. And now that I've got my scene created at the bottom, I'm moving up to the top, and I wanted to bring some of that green color to the top of the page and had these gorgeous headers in the kit that were just silver confetti foiled. So I run those along the top of the column. And then I had these cute little pumpkins. These are from the Pretty Pink Co. and they're just a pumpkin header trim. But I loved it sitting on top of the windowsill because I know sometimes like people do this with like home decor, and or they'll place cute little pumpkins or themed elements for the season on a shelf in their home, or sitting over a windowsill, or sitting over a door frame or something like that. And it just felt really, really cute as in bringing in just sort of a home decor element to that sidebar. And especially because I was wanting to pull in this sort of farmhouse element, I felt like I was kind of picking up on some sort of like home themes in the way I was decorating this. And so I really love that. I pulled in that large floral at the top, and you're going to see that disappear in just a few moments because it's feeling a bit cluttered at the top here. But I also pulled in this gingham bowstrung box from the Giving Girl. I have been in love with these since she released them, and it's been one of those things where I have a bunch of them in my collection. I don't always reach for them, and I don't always find spreads where I feel like they're going to be a great fit. And so having the opportunity to pull those in, I got so hyped and excited because I absolutely adore those gingham boxes. I'm personally just like gingham print. And so I used one of the bowstrung boxes for my month section in the sidebar, and you're going to see me pull in more of those bowstrung boxes in just a bit. But before we get to that, I'm putting down the full boxes There was so many gorgeous full boxes in this kit, and I was trying to figure out which ones would give me the right balance of color, and I think I'm going to end up swapping out the full box on Sunday. I've got one placed down there, which is so super cute, but what I realized, especially because I wanted the one for Wednesday and Sunday at the top of the column, and I was right underneath those green headers, I preferred having the orange background, the full boxes that had the orange background next to the green. I thought it was a better color balance because I felt like the full box that had the green background was kind of running into the green header, and I didn't love that quite as much. And so that's what made me switch that full box for Sunday. Which made me a little bit sad because I really loved that other full box. I liked the image and the combination of the pumpkins and those florals, but the green background for me was just like, oh, not quite what I wanted. So now that I've got my full boxes done, moving back over to the sidebar, I wanted to pull in this floral at the top, much smaller than the previous floral that I had there. And so it's a lot less overwhelming in that space. And I had also added in another bit of that alcohol ink swatch layered behind the bowstrung box, which ties into what's happening in the date cover deco area, and I think adds a really nice subtle wash of color. Here we go with more of those gingham boxes. So I had the bowstrung boxes from the Giving Girl, which were going to be way too big in the space to use the entire box for my date cover deco headers, but I figured, well, if I cut it in half, I can make this fit and make it take up a little less space, and I can have that gingham pattern. So what I ended up doing was just cutting off the top of that box. And I have the mixed page, which has like the traditional box that's in the sidebar, and then she has the label style boxes, which are longer. And so I decided to use those for my date covers. So I put down the box, added the Monday script from Paper Trail Plans. The date dot is from JK Creates Co. And then layered in some florals from the kit. Came out so stinking cute. I was just like, yay. I love this. And it's just, I'm freaking out because the gingham is just too adorable. Then I took a floral leaf trim from Floral's not a floral leaf trim. It's just a leaf trim from Sadie Stickers. The foiled, that's the word I was trying to say, not floral. Foiled leaf trim from Sadie Stickers. Line that over the top of a third box from the kit, added in the laptop icon from Crafts by Towie to mark that I was back in the office. Interesting. And so, okay, so the week before, and I do have the spread from the week before posted on my YouTube channel, which was the two little bees kit. Oh, that was the week that Bee was really sick, and then I got sick, and so I was working from home that whole week. And so this day I was back in the office after being out of the house sick for the previous week. That's why I marked that. Very interesting. And then I also got some Happy Mail from Lexi Kylie Designs. I love that blowing leaf divider. It's from Sadie Stickers or the Pretty Pink Co. I literally bought that leaf divider from both of those shops because the design of it is so adorable and I love it, and did not realize I was buying the same thing twice from two different shops. This is why I try to track my orders so that I can help myself not do things like that, and yet I still sometimes do things like that. Moving on to Tuesday, I started by putting down a header and then adding in the little gingham box that I cut up from the Giving Girl, pulling in all of the date elements, the script and the date dot, added in some florals, and then that little foil divider that's got the leaves on it that I'm putting between the header and the gingham box to cover up the trim line to make it look really nice and polished. That is from Sadie Stickers from a $2 Tuesday as well. Started off by Tuesday by marking that I was watching Moshi's 3-hour haul. As someone who uploads YouTube videos, I always just think it is the most incredible thing when I see Lauren do these super long hauls, because I know how long it takes to edit and upload something like that. And I just think just amazing. I'm always blown away because that is a lot of work. But also want to say really quickly, because the way I layered those boxes came out so cute. And oftentimes when I layer boxes like that, I'll try to have one of them be foiled. And this time I just took two of the little colorful fancy boxes from the kit and layered them on each other. And I really love the way that came out. And then I was working on a November update from Ray and Tay because we were experiencing a production delay, and I needed to make sure to update everyone because unfortunately we weren't going to be able to do our Black Friday sale. We ended up doing it in December. We ended up having a Black Friday and December sale, so it all worked out. But lessons that I am learning in being a first-time small business owner. This year has been quite the education. So, anywho, moving over to Wednesday, because I only had 6 of the label style of those gingham boxes from the Giving Girl, I knew I was going to have to use one of the original style, the same as like I have in the Sidebar. And so when I trimmed that down, it was obviously a lot shorter. And so I wanted to pull in some cute little clip art style deco elements to pair with this. And because I had my little fashion doll holding her coffee in the Sidebar, and because I felt like, again, if picking up on that very home, very very farmhouse, like lifestyle sort of theme that seems to be going on with this spread, I was like, oh, how this would be cute to pull in a little coffee and little croissant, like a breakfast thing. And so I pulled in some clip art to add to the side of that date cover, so then you can't tell that it's not as long as the other ones, and it just sort of blends in. It all looks very, very cohesive and pretty, and I love how that came out. And then I'm putting down one of the cute little fancy boxes from the kit. I love this one. And you know what? This is probably also a side effect of sometimes you'll watch your friends' videos a lot and they have certain tendencies. And one of Lauren's tendencies is she uses boxes like this that are shaped like that, have this little fancy box shape to mark her meetings. And it's so funny because I literally use this to mark a one-on-one meeting at work. And I guarantee you that was like a subconscious thing where I'm used to hearing her say, oh, I like using this little box to mark my meetings. And I knew I had a meeting to mark, and I think my brain just picked out that little box from the page and was like, this is the meeting box. And so apparently now that is the meeting box. And then that day, we were celebrating Thanksgiving at my job. And so one of the things that they've started doing anytime we have sort of office events or celebrations or things like that, because everyone's on a hybrid schedule, but we're on a split hybrid schedule at my office. So there are some people who their schedule is Monday to Wednesday, and other people their in office days are Wednesday to Friday. And so because of that, the overlap day is Wednesday. So anytime we do anything at the office now, that's like for the entire building, it's done on a Wednesday because that's when the most people are going to be there. And so we were celebrating Thanksgiving that day at work. And so they brought in a taco vendor and had lunch served for everyone, and which was really, really delicious. So yummy. And a very, very Southern California way to celebrate Thanksgiving. But I thought it was really smart because I feel like you don't have to do Thanksgiving food when you're doing it for an office setting, because you know that people are going to be eating Thanksgiving food like the very next week. So you don't want to overwhelm people with like the traditional Thanksgiving food. So I thought it was a super smart idea, and it was also really, really yummy. On to Thursday, started again, of course, by using another one of those gingham boxes from the Giving Girl to create the date cover for Thursday. Then went back to double layering those colorful boxes because, again, I loved how it came out Tuesday so much, and I was like, oh, definitely got to do that again because I was really having fun at double layering those colorful boxes. And then I uploaded a Planning 101 video that day. Oh, my Planning 101. I swear to you, I just had like, my brain just like went, I don't know anything anymore, because my brain literally just went, what the heck is Planning 101? Dude, I came up with it. So my Planning 101 videos are where I teach basic beginner planner tips. So I uploaded one of those videos that day. And then underneath there, I used a cute little Amazon box icon from JK Creates Co. To mark that I had gotten some new house slippers. Oh my goodness, which I desperately needed, like my old house slipper. I don't understand how my old house slippers had gotten like so worn in. I mean, I literally just wear them around the house. It's in the name, they're house slippers, but it was time for a new pair. So I picked up some new ones, which it's so important because I oftentimes don't think about it during the summer because it's so warm, but during the fall and winter, my my feet are cold, and so I like having slippers on around the house. And then I cooked dinner for B&B, which is really nice. So we got to sit and enjoy having dinner together. And then on to Friday, I uploaded my November dashboard spread, and I'm starting by putting down one of these large florals and just going to trim off the edge here. And the YouTube play button icon is from Crafts by Towie, and you can see me here reaching for, this is my icon binder. The binder is from Wed-Thu, which is my planner shop, and so that's my icon binder, which is filled with all of my icons, and it's such a wonderful way to store them. I can flip through everything and see all of my icons in my collection. It's awesome. And so I am just using that to mark that I uploaded that video, and then I put down another one of those foiled leaf dividers from Sadie Stickers, added in a half box. We did our interview with the planner wire that day. That was so exciting. So I've never been interviewed for a podcast before. And so if you're unfamiliar with the planner wire, I love the planner wire so much. If you are someone who likes staying in the know and wants to know what's like happening in the planner community, I highly recommend following the planner wire. I think what she's created is so brilliant, because it's the whole concept of that blog and social media page and her podcast. It's all about sharing what's happening in the planner community, and I really love that, because it's just it's like such a great way to like stay in the know on what's going on in the planner community. And like, I remember when all of the different advent calendars were coming out, and she had a post letting you know who had advent calendars and where you could find them, and like just things like that. Just like, if you're wanting to stay on top of what's happening in this community, such a fantastic resource. And I just think she does an amazing job. Plus, she has this Plannerpreneur series where she interviews different shop owners in the planner community, so you can get to know a little bit about them and their backstory, which is of course what Ray and I were interviewed for, was because we created Wed-Thu. And so we were able to share our inspiration, what went into the decision to create the company, why we thought it was needed in the planner community, and then our journey and that whole thing. So I will definitely have that episode linked in the description box of this video if you would like to check that out. It was really fun doing that and being interviewed. I've never been interviewed before, and it was great just to share and talk about the inspiration for Wed-Thu. On to Saturday, lunch date would be, this was a very interesting day, because we had gotten up and gotten dressed. We were planning to go to our nephew's basketball game, but he was sick, and so it wasn't playing, but we didn't find, we were already in the car when we found out, when we texted his sister, and so we were in the car and we were like, well, let's just go to lunch. So we went to lunch, and then we went to this cute little place like after we ate for dessert. It's called Dot and Dough. Oh my God, it was like the best donut ever. It was so good. And then after that, we're like driving home, and in like the most spur of the moment decision, because there was like a sign out in front of the Petco that was like, it's cat adoption day. And so I was like, let's just go look at the cats in Petco. Yeah, we totally came home with 2 cats that day. I don't think that I had that. I don't think I thought that was going to happen. But oh my God, the best spur of the moment decision I've ever made in my life. And at the time of doing this voiceover, it's now been a couple weeks, because this was I filmed this in November, and I am doing the voiceover now in December. So we've had Tiger and Midnight, my 2 little adorable cats, their brother and sister, and I literally, like, when I tell you it was an adjustment, and I'm sure I'll be talking about it more in upcoming Plan With Me's, because like the next week and stuff, just adjusting to having cats in the house and having pets and having something that's like depending on me to live, that I have to like feed and take care of. It's whoa, when I tell you that was an adjustment. But I cannot imagine my life without them. They are the most adorable things, and they make me so happy. And so, yeah, that Saturday we adopted adopted our two little cats that we love them so, so much. On to Sunday, I was sleepy because we were up all night, because when we first adopted them, they would sleep during the day and just like party all night. Oh my God. So I was exhausted. And then our sink backed up. Our neighbor's sink and dishwasher was like backing up into our sink, which is totally gross and disgusting. So I had to put in the maintenance request for that. And I'm just like, oh God. Yeah, that was a whole thing. More on that in the next plan with me, as well as we got that situation resolved. And then we just finished off the day watching Once Upon a Time, which is a show B hadn't seen before, and I was introducing him to, and he is really enjoying. And that is it for this week. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you next video. Bye.